Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel English Vanessa. So students, in this video we are going to discuss a very beautiful poem, The Flower, which is written by Alfred Tennyson, which you have in your degree semester 4th English subject. So before moving further, let us know about the author, Alfred Tennyson. So students, this The Flower is a poem which is written by one of the greatest English poet of the Victorian period, Alfred Tennyson. He was the longest serving poet laureate ever. He held the title from 1850 to 1892. Tennyson's poetry is as versatile as extensive. He had an extremely fruitful and long literary career. His works basically shows extreme depth and richness in style and themes. Now before moving further, let us know about the main central theme and central idea of the poem. So this poem The Flower was first published in 1864. So this poem deals with the idea of achievement and in indignation how society often criticizes those who create beautiful things and belittle their efforts. So here in this poem, Tennyson extends the flower metaphor throughout the whole poem, comparing the idea of growing a flower to a personal act of creation, discovery, and writing. So, here through this poem, Tennyson shows the fickle character of the human mind and how people are never ready to appreciate new things that shows. Alfred Lord Tennyson shows that the people are biased and their opinions shift from time to time. This poem, the poet had sown a seed and was hoping for a wonderfully blooming plant, and indeed it did happen. However, the people surrounding him did not appreciate it and cursed the poet and his work too, means his flower. However, it appears that they had a hidden interest in the plant or at least the seed as well. So they steal the narrator's other similar seeds and grow plants just like the poet. Though the poet had done the same thing, it is now appreciated by all, but they get tired of it quickly and refer to the plant as a weed. So, in this poem, Tennyson criticizing people who dismiss his work, comparing it to useless and undesirable weed rather than lovely flower. Because he believes such critics have forgotten that he was the one who showed how to write poetry to so many others. So basically, in this poem, the poet gives us an idea of how we view things that are new. So now, students, let us read the first poem, first stanza. Here once in a golden hour, I cast to earth a seed. Up there came a flower, the people said a weed. So here, students, this golden hour he has taken as a metaphor, which showing the specific period of his time. And this golden hour, he is saying his creation, his invention, as a rare invention, which is not a normal. And here he's saying I cast to earth a seed, means he started his work, he's working on his creation, on his invention. Up there came a flower. So after so many years that he is getting success now, his flower is blooming now, but the people criticizes him and said his work and his flower as a weed. So weed is nothing but which is a useless plant, and which grow along with the normal plant and stop that normal plant's growth. So here this flower he has taken as a metaphor to his work. So if we see overall of this explanation, so here poet says once he planted a seed in some good time that over the years blossom into a beautiful flower, means his work which blossom into a beautiful flower, but people criticizes his work and his flower by saying it as a weed, means a useless thing. Now let us read the second stanza. To and fro they went through my garden bower. So, students, to and fro is nothing but here and there. The people who ever passing through his garden, his house, they were moving here and there, his garden bower, and muttering discontent, curse me and my flower. So, here muttering is nothing but they were discussing in a low tone something about his flower and him, about the poet, and discontent. So here discontent is nothing but they become restless here. They were means restless here because they were thinking that how can he discover the thing instead of them, because the poet invented a new thing before they were unaware of that thing. So after realizing how beautiful, wonderful the thing it was made by the flower, but still they were muttering and discontent about his flower and him, and cursing his flower and the poet. So now if we see the overall explanation to this stanza is, so whoever was passing through his garden and was seeing his flower, so they were expressing their disapproval to his beauty, and they would keep on criticizing him and his flower. Now let us read the third stanza here. Then it grew so tall, it wore a crown of light. So instead of people were criticizing it and muttering about his work and him, but still the flower grew so tall. So here the poet is showing that however the people are saying bad things to my flower, but my invention was so superior that even the tiniest doubt could not be cast on it. Means instead of those all things, it grew so tall and it wore a crown of light. Means crown of light is nothing but it is a metaphor, which means his work is getting fulfilled and his work is getting success. Then but thieves from over the wall stole the seeds by night. So students, here this is over, which is a poetic style. They write like this only, this is over. But thieves from over the wall stole the seeds by night. So his work is blooming here and they wanted to get that same success. So what they did, they stole his seeds and tried to means copy his work, imitate his creation, imitate his invention, and they stole his seed. And what they did after stealing his seed, they sowed it far and wide by every town and tower. So what the thieves did, the thieves sowed that seed which they stole from the poet, and they sowed everywhere from every town to every tower, till all the people cried, splendid is the flower. So here all the people appreciated the beauty of the flower, which is the same flower which was produced by the poet himself. But to poet's creation they were criticizing, but now the other one is doing the same work. Now they are praising and appreciating the people's work. Now, here in the fifth stanza, the poet is saying, read my little fable. Fable is nothing but my little story. He that runs may read. Here, he that runs may read is nothing but it is the line which is taken from the Bible, which means that everyone can understand this. It is very simple line, means a non-expert also can understand it easily. So here the poet urging the people that listen my story too, and he's saying now here that most can raise the flower now, for all have got the seed. So here poet is saying that not everyone got the seed because it was stolen by the thieves. Now everyone can grow the flower what I used to grow or what I grow. Means here he is showing that whatever work he started, his new creation, his new invention, that invention was stolen by the thieves. Now everyone can copy, imitate his work, and they can also write the poetry how he write. So that only he is saying that all people can raise the flowers using the seed of the flower sown by him before. Now, in the last stanza, and some are pretty enough, and some are poor indeed. So, here this poet is saying that now everyone has stolen his seed. Now, they started to seed that seeds also, and after sowing that seed, some got pretty flower, means they were getting success, and some are poor indeed, means some did not able to grow the flower, and now again the people call it butterwheat. So those who are unable to achieve success after imitating him, they again started and calling his flower, his work as a wheat. So here students, in this poem, the poet Lord Tennyson, Alfred Lord Tennyson, he has taken the flower as a metaphor of planting a seed and nurturing it to that it grows into a flower for the act of creating poetry. So he's comparing his taking flower as a metaphor of his poetry, of his work. So, if we see the conclusion to his meaning of Tennyson's poem, he is attacking on those critics who scorn his work, likening it to useless and unwanted weeds rather than beautiful flower. Because he feels that such critics have forgotten that he was the one who shown so many others how to write poetry. That's why he has taken example as they have stole my seed, means he only showed the way how to write poetry to them. Now let's paraphrase his poem. So, in this poem, Tennyson uses an extremely simple yet effective comparison to point out the value of individuals' effort in materialistic, excessively critical society by taking the image of planting and tending to a flower. So, here in this poem, he says that how people will scorn individual who work hard to create art just because they don't realize its true beauty. So, here in this poem, the poet said, means the speaker, he planted a seed in the ground which grew to be a flower, and people started calling it as a weed. They kept deliberately criticizing his beautiful creation every time whenever they means move around his garden, and they started muttering to themselves in scornful resentment. But instead of their criticizing, the flower grew taller and more beautiful as if it were wearing a crown of light. But after that, some thief stole his seed and planted it everywhere. These stolen seeds, when they become flowers, were met with praise and renown by the same people who criticizes the parent flower before. So the speaker says here that everyone can recreate the beauty of the flower now because they possess the seeds, means idea that was originally his idea was that how to create the poetry. Now everyone got that idea because some thieves has taken his ideas, has stolen his idea. So that's why he is here saying that most can raise the flower now because they have stolen his idea. However, here Tennyson points out the flighty transit nature of popularity in society through the ending. So, here now that everyone can access the seed, it has become a common phenomenon now. The flower has lost its uniqueness, and therefore, the very people who marveled at it for a fleeting moment now go back to calling it a weed. So, this flower lost his uniqueness. Now it become a normal flower because everyone is planting this flower. Now that again the people who were before appreciating this flower, now they started again calling it as a weed. So that's why Tennyson here said that how people are biased and their opinions shift from time to time. When was once reversed in now despised by the populace for no apparent causes. So, students, this is all about the poem The Flower, which is written by Lord Alfred Lord Tennyson. I hope it would be helpful for you. If you want the Hindi version of this poem, the link is provided under the description box of this video. You can watch it. Thanks for watching.